Since they dropped at the end of 2019, I have reviewed 6 or 7 LeBron 17s for the channel. Everything from these guys right here, dying the More Than an Athlete sneakers, which are a great looking colorway, and all the way up to the Harlem Fashion Row, which were my favorite ones so far. I have to admit that the Harlem Fashion Row ones were absolutely fire. I just loved them very, very much. They were a cracking looking sneaker. So I have reviewed a bunch of 17s for the channel, but that's not the only reason why I'm reviewing these 17s I promises for the channel. There's another reason, and if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you might not know this, so it might come as a little surprise to you. And if you're not a regular viewer of my channel, maybe you'll be like, whoa, didn't expect that. But the other reason why I chose to review the Nike Lebron 17 I promise for the channel is because I myself actually work in education. Who knew? So even though I do drop these daily videos on YouTube and I do have a young family, my full-time job is working in education. So when I saw a LeBron 17 coming out, I thought, yeah, I want to review that. When I dug into what I promise is, I was like, whoa, I'm definitely bringing that to the channel because it ties up my love of sneakers and also my passion for education in one shoe. So I'm very happy. I'm thrilled. I'm excited to bring you the Nike Lebron 17 I promise. This is a Tokyo About a 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo About a 23 sneaker channelです。毎日アップするので毎日見てください。Every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today it's no different as we talk about the upcoming release of the Nike Lebron 17 I Promise, which is dropping on January the 21st. I already talked about those Harlem Fashion Row sneakers, which I just loved. These don't supersede them for me. It's still the Harlem Fashion Rows. I just loved them. I really, really did. These are poppin' and fire sneakers. I do like them a lot. In fact, there's only one tiny snickerty, overly picky, irritatingly precise thing about these sneakers that I don't like. Everything else absolutely fire, but there's this just tiny little detail, and maybe I shouldn't be so picky, but I am. That's just who I am, and we'll get into that today, and I'll point out to you the one bit about these guys that I'm not really feeling. But like I said, the 17s, the infrared that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, they were the one that I reviewed that I was a bit let down by. And it was like I went in there looking for a sneaker expecting X, but it turned out to be a bit less than I wanted. Whereas these, yes, absolutely fire colorway and everything, but then the I promise element of it is what really got me interested, especially as an educator. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, just as soon as you guys have clicked that subscribe button down below and the like button. People keep forgetting to hit the like button, so please subscribe and like the video. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do say at the start of every single one of my videos, Toroku yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Ine mo click suru to tasukaru node, nondite no yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Okay, into this video then. So the I promise. So I don't know how much you know about this. Probably a lot, because you're looking at a LeBron 17 video and you know a lot about sneakers, and then this I promise thing you're already up to speed on. But if you're not, what it is in Akron. Is it Akron? Is that how you pronounce it, or is it Akron? Akron in Ohio. LeBron James opened up a school for the kids who are, what's the word now? Not in danger, but there's a word for it that slipped my mind. But it's kids who are they're vulnerable and vulnerable to dropping out of the system, losing their education, to not finishing school. And he built this school. He's pumped a lot of his energy and money into this school for disadvantaged kids, for vulnerable kids, for kids who are potentially going to slip through the cracks in the system. And if you slip through the cracks in the education system, it's very, very difficult to get back into a productive life or whatever, or a life that's enriching and that makes you happy. I'm not just talking about society and you've got to have a job and pay your taxes. I'm talking about you being happy and you having well-being, and that's the point of his school. And I totally appreciate that. I'm a very passionate believer in more than just subject-based education. It's not just about teach the maths, teach the science, teach the English, but also about, you know, making people and making sure that the people who go through the education system have their needs met. Yes, academically, but also what about socially, how you interact with people? What about emotionally, how you feel about yourself? What about personally, your like personal interpretation, your personal growth, all those kind of things I think are as important, if not more important, than the academics of education. So when I was digging into the sneaker and then digging into the I Promise School, it got me really passionate about my two great loves, which are education and sneakers. So of course, I was going to bring that to you guys today, and I'm you know, truly happy to do it. I'm truly happy to do it. At the end of this video, I will drop into a bit about the butter movement and the game that we play in that. But before we, you know, I want to just focus in on the sneaker. So butter movement, guys, just hold, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. But for now, let's get into this and have a look at these guys. For me, there are two major things about the 17s that are absolutely fundamental to why it's an incredible sneaker. The first is it's sleek. I always talk about how sleek it is across the top of the sneaker. The way the upper, the laces and the upper kind of blend in together. It's just a smooth thing. I love that kind of thing. I know other people don't, but for me, I love that kind of sleekness of them. And that's perfectly evident in these I Promise sneakers. And then the other thing that is a massive technological step forward for the for sneakers in general, for sneaker technology in general, and the 17s is the color and the way the color works in the upper. Now, often with 17s, it's a fade effect from heel to toe. Those Harlem fashion rows that I talked about earlier, it was kind of a red, deep red color that faded into cream on the toe. That's not happening here in these I Promise guys, but you've still got that technology in there that brings you those swirls and those different colors all kind of like blending in together in a way that nobody had ever done on sneakers before. So if we zoom in first and foremost on that, the upper, and have a look at that colorway, you can see it's a multitude of colors, and that's, again, I think it's to do with the diversity of the school, and each person's unique identity and unique color, and that's why it's so colorful and got so much going on there. And then it's not too far away if we go from the upper onto the lacing system, which I can transition to with a little slide. But instead of doing that, I'm going to go... That was a terrible click of the fingers, but I'm going to leave it. And we'll just look at a different picture, which gives you the laces in great detail, which I think are black laces with white writing on it. And it's the white writing that we want to look at, because that white writing is affirmations. And they are promises that students at the I Promise School make that they are going to fulfill in their lives. Things like never give up, things like try my best, things like work hard, and my favorite one of them all is dream big. Hopefully I've been able to zoom in on one of those affirmations, like the dream big one, especially on the laces here, and it totally represents the school. So the colorway itself, with the diversity, with the mix of colors, really totally represents the I Promise School. And then those affirmations on the laces, which again, the students do actually make. They do make these promises to be at the I Promise School. So so the school itself is truly represented in this sneaker. Now, if we go back to the upper, one of my big, excuse me, I always leave little things like that in the videos, and nobody's ever commented on them, so I don't think people mind. If we go back to the upper, to that colorway, one of the things that I criticized about the infrared was I didn't like the white swoosh on the black and red colorway. I thought it was too much, and it didn't connect with the rest of the shoe. And if we look at that swoosh on these guys, you can see it's either a teal or a turquoise or a blue of some kind, and it totally represents the rest of the shoe, especially if we zoom in on it, and you can see that it's a speckled swoosh, and there's a bit more design to it than just being that block of color on there. But this is where we get into my super picky, I'm overthinking it, I'm thinking too much about it. That speckled swoosh takes us to the other speckled part of the sneaker, which is on the toe. I don't know if we call this a toe guard or a mud guard or whatever, but there's a sleek piece of material between the midfoot and the upper, which in this case is in a light grey or white, and it's speckled. I don't know why I'm being so detailed and explaining to you when you can just look behind me and see it, but I don't like it. I'm probably zoomed in on it right now, and you're thinking, why don't you like it? But if I pan out and look at the whole sneaker, you can see that Everything else about the sneaker is just like a celebration, a carnival of colors, but then the whiteness of that particular panel gives it a block effect, which nowhere else on the sneaker kind of has, even though it's speckled. So I wish they'd done something there with maybe a deeper color of gray, a couple of shades darker or something like that. But that one place, it's that one place in the sneaker that just kind of didn't sit quite right with me. So otherwise, it's it's a great sneaker. Come on, I'm being way too picky. I'm like a 2-year-old who won't eat his broccoli. I'm being way too picky talking about that particular tiny little bit on there. Which once you get them in hand, you'll probably be like, these are fire. Any way you look at it. And speaking of fire, let's flip them upside down and go bang! Look at that! Oh, what an outsole! My goodness, the infrareds. I talked about how the outsole faded from black to red. I think it was black on the heel and red on the toe, and how much I liked that because all the other Lebron 17s I reviewed had a solid color on the outsole, but these guys, wow, that's the Notting Hill Carnival right there. That's New Orleans, right? It's just every single color is splattered on there. Great looking outsole, really fits the motif of the whole shoe. And if we go back to the whole shoe here, think about that. Think about the school, think about the message, think about people growing, think about diversity and how important it is that we are unique and individual people without being selfish and kind of horrible. But we are unique and we are diverse and we are a many-coloured culture and society, and I think this shoe reflects that. I think the school reflects that, and I think it's a great, great sneaker. It is apparently exclusive. There's not that many pairs dropping, so it'll be interesting to see how many pairs drop. I'm assuming proceeds go to the school, but I can't guarantee that. They are dropping in about a week's time on January the 21st, so it'll be interesting to see how many pairs do drop and where the funding goes for them. But it is just a great sneaker. It's a great story, it's a great concept, everything about them says yes. So hopefully if you're lucky enough to grab yourself a pair, you'll appreciate them as much as I appreciate them in pictures. Great sneaker, great job, love it. But I did say at the top of the video, Butter Movement people, we do have an ever-growing library of rare sneakers in this playlist right here, where Shoe Butter brings us rare sneakers to the channel in hand every Sunday. And what we do is throughout the week I drop you hints and you try and work out which sneaker it's going to be. And so far this week, on Tuesday I said Fred Jones. On Wednesday I should have said player exclusive, but I forgot to. Yesterday I said Pacers, and then today is yellow and white. So if you can work out from those 4 clues, Fred Jones. Did I say Fred? Fred Jones. Fred Jones, player exclusive, Pacers, yellow and white. If you can work out which rare sneaker is coming to the channel on Sunday, hit me up with a comment down below and let me know. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, and I truly appreciate the watch time and the views and the comments and the likes and the subscribes and all that kind of stuff. Keep churning them out, keep supporting the channel as we grow on into 2020, the year of the Tokyo Olympics, which is sure to be a big thing for me. For now though, time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, but as I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.